Hi gamers, I am here to talk about 50/20, and this is going to be kind of a short guide on a modified strategy that I kind of found worked for me. So first things first, I want to say this is based off primarily the strat that Ambience shows on his channel. He's like a YouTube man. So if you want like a more professional guide that summarizes things a little bit more quickly, I would definitely watch that. And I am basically assuming that you already have seen that or seen like a DJ Sturf guide, or you have like a good knowledge of how 50/20 works. So I don't really need to explain like you need to have the music box going at 15 seconds because of Chica, or you need to manage Toy Freddy, or stuff like that. I mean, I'll speak about things you need to be aware of, because I'll talk a little bit about like remaining conscious as well as using your muscle memory, but I'm going to save it. So anyway, this is kind of, like I said, how do I put this in a non-stupid headway? Like an easier strat, if you will. I found it to be a little bit more relaxed, and it seemed to get me further into these nights for or more consistently. So I apologize for my non-professionalism. I just kind of pressed start recording, and I'm talking here. I have like a very light outline here that I'm following. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video, and I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to talk about certain stuff, and you're going to hear me talk in the background. I was streaming when I did this, and there's a couple things that you're probably going to hear me say, but try not to mind that too much. And then I'm not going to go horribly into depth about every little last portion of the strategy. I'm just going to give you the strategy, talk about what needs to be said regarding it, and how it may differ from like the Ambience video if I find it to be relevant. And then at the very end, I'm going to play it, and like he does, he doesn't talk. I'm probably going to talk just to like point some stuff out in real time, and like to give you an idea of something that like you should have caught if this was you playing. So, or at least I hope to do that. So let's get this party started. Don't worry, that 9,800 points changes, as you can see. Click. All right, nice. So here we go. So first thing that you want to do, because he actually does not say this in his guide, so I'm going to mention this. When the screen is black, you can double click where the wet floor sign is going to be, and if you want to know where that is, it's actually right here on the left. I think you guys can see my cursor, but right here on the left of Chip's portrait. So when you click set all 20 go, before the screen fades out, put your mouse right here, and then as long as it's faded, like right now, it should register a double click, and then right as the game loads, it actually will launch the wet floor sign over onto the right. So as well as that, like he says, hold 1 and space. That turns on the power generator, turns off the fan. Very important to do that. You gotta save power, gamers. Okay, so first things first, get that camera up. Place an audio lure right here on the left. And I won't go into depth about that. Like I said, I know why you're supposed to do it, but I'll save all that stuff. So just follow my instructions. I'm right. You're freaking dumb. I know what I'm talking about. No, just kidding. So yeah, place an audio lure right there. I should have moved the sign, yes, but I was referring to the street or the attempt previous to this. Okay, so what I do, and I skipped it here, is I go to the vent system and I close the left vent personally. That's to prevent Mangle from coming in early, and yes, I do need to say that because I know it's either her or Withered Chica, but I think it's better to deal with Mangle in this case. So anyway, come here, find Mr. Hugs. If you're capable of doing this, collect the coins. Also, if you saw Foxy on your desk, I would recommend visiting Cam 5. Otherwise, don't even bother with that. If you forgot, and like you're not sure and like you want to look, what I do is I handle Toy Freddy and then go to cam 5, and even if it's Bonnie and he screams at you, you still have enough time before the cams fade to go back to cam 8 and then just close the camera, you know, as long as you've already dealt with Toy Freddy. So do all that crap. I don't go to the prize corner, and that has to do with the strat specifically. So I would stay in the cams until the 5-second mark, because as you can see, Nightmare Fredbear spawned. I think that's him. I forget which side Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear are on, but whatever. So mask down and then back up, and don't even pay attention to the figure, it doesn't matter. But you'll see me kind of work through the office here, so I'll probably go like left door, flashlight, side vent, like something like that. But basically, come back into the office, deal with everything as it needs to be dealt with. As you can see, just did it. So, and then back into the cams. So the big thing here, do I do it? Hold on. I'm trying to, how does this work? How do I advance like very barely backwards? I guess I'll just click it. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's a little too farther. Okay, so at 10 seconds, you want to be in the camera. Do I do it? No, I think I miss it here. I'm not too sure. But you really should be looking at the camera at 10 seconds, because every 10-second interval, Toy Freddy has a chance to change. Like, well, it's really Mr. Hugs, but you can get into a disadvantageous spot, and you want to mitigate the amount of nonsense that guy throws at you. So this is not up. This is on the way to being up, but you need to be like, this is not up. This is up. So this, you need to see at 10 seconds. So I missed it, and I can't see behind Phantom Mangle here. But essentially, all you're doing is flipping the camera up, back down, mask down, and then I'm doing this to farm coins. So Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare might appear again. That's good if they do, because that means more coins. If they do both appear, you need to close one door at a time. If you do both at the same time, you're only going to get one coin. You need to go like left, left, right, right. Don't go like left, right, or like left, right, left. Go just one at a time, nice and easy. So, and you don't really need to be too speedy. We're going to be wanting 10 coins at 26 seconds. So, anyway, just be smart here. Don't worry about Foxy, like I said. Take care of Nightmare Balloon Boy. Now here, you know, this is assuming you know this, but have the music box on before 15. A good rule of thumb is like at 14, but truly before 15. That prevents Chica from freaking out, and then also starts winding the music box back up. Now, I've found you can get away with 16, but don't. I would go for 15. Also, please excuse me for a second. I'm going to go let Bailey inside. Here, scratching at the back door. Alright, sorry, I had a feeling that was going to happen, and I might forget to cut that out, but that was only like 5 seconds or something, so whatever. But more like 10. So don't turn the fan back on at 15. It's okay for the time being. You don't really need to keep the office that cool in this time period. If you want to throttle it like a little bit just to do it, I mean, you can, but really the only thing that needs to be on is the global music box. So another thing, if you really want to be a nerd about it, you can be in the cameras at 15 seconds, potentially get the nightmare spawn again, plural, nightmares. But as you can see here, I'm kind of dealing with Chica, and I forget if Toy Freddy's here or whatever, but the main thing, you want to be back in the camera at 20 seconds. So this is good too. XOR came early, very nice. I'll talk about what to do if she shows up later, but that's for later. So, yeah, anyway, so 20 seconds shows up. I think I do the flip proper. Nice. Now, you know, of course you're going to be dealing with ads in a phone call, perhaps. Just be ready for it. Understand that it's coming. Do everything you need to do. Okay, so got to do one more flip here. Get my last coin. Okay, so flash, Balloon Boy. Now, that's it. So 26 seconds. Hopefully you've got your 10 coins, especially if XOR shows up that quickly. Now, I would hope that you could do this before 26, and by that I mean have your coins so you're not rushing. It doesn't need to be right before 26 or right at 26. Like anytime after 26 is fine, but like you really don't want to delay that for a couple reasons, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But do check the desk. That's why I say don't be in a rush. Have your 10 coins. Check the desk. Don't be like, oh shoot, I gotta flip the cam, and then, you know, like Nightmare Balloon Boy gets you or something stupid like that. You know, keep an eye on Scrap Baby too. So, anywho, so I wait, and as long as you're not on the camera at 26, you're good. 26.1, fine. And then, like I said, you know, the cam takes a sec to flip up, so you could probably flip just a little bit before 26 and still, you know, not be there at exactly 26. So if Foxy's on the desk, go to his cam. But first, when you flip the cams, vent system or duct system, whatever vent system's closer to cam system, so I do that one. Just to get Nightmare Mangle and Nightmare Balloon Boy away. You know, they weren't there in this case, but just in case. So back to cam system. Now, this is when you check if Foxy's there. Look at cam 5 real quick. Just like leave this guy, and then 5. I don't even bother because it was Bonnie. And I don't try to see Toy Freddy at 30 seconds. I just completely forget about him at this point. So just go buy the death coin. Go to cam 6. Is that what that is? Okay, good. Death coin this nerd. And because I know that Plush Trap is here, I stay on this cam for just a second. It's like a second and a half or something like that. You'd have to look it up, and I'll talk more about that in like the big video. But you hopefully right now, if you're lucky, are dealing with Plush Trap. I suppose this is a good time to talk about it. So there's an order. It's like when XOR shows up, it goes RWQ. I guess it's not RXQ. It's RWQ. Shadow Bonnie, whatever. Then Plush Trap, then Nightmare Chica, and then like the other 3 don't matter. And I'm not going to try to guess the order right now because I'm going to be sitting here for like a minute trying to remember their names. So essentially that's all you need to know. So you can deal with Plush Trap in this cam cycle, if that's what you want to call it. If you went in at 26 seconds and XOR showed up early, if XOR is not here, I would go into the cameras anyway, and I would use the death coin on Funtime Foxy, and then stay on cam 6, and then find an opportunity to go back into cams. And basically, in this case, it would be go into the cams at a non-13 second interval, or near one where you're going to have time to react to things where like you're not going to get distracted or whatever. So if you can't do it at 26, perhaps do it after 39. Definitely do it before 45, because at 45 Funtime Foxy's probably going to get you, because a 1 a.m. showtime is pretty common. So essentially just deal with Plush Trap when he's available and when you have a moment to do so. Don't do it at a time where you're going to get overwhelmed, but preferably this is the easy one, because you know you're checking Foxy, you're buying the death coin, you're using the death coin, and then you're dealing with Plush Trap, and then you switch to cam 2, and then that's it. Like, if you can do it all in one go, that's why I say this is the good one to get. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's still doable. It's just gonna kind of force you to readjust your strat a little bit. So anyway, he's on the camera right now, Plush Trap, watching. I think I see him. He's left his chair. You have a little bit of time after he's out of the chair. It's like not super critical, but get over to cam 2. Sorry, this is my mouse right here. You saw the other one go. But yeah, down to cam 2, and then you're done playing around moving in the cameras. That's it. So come out. Don't forget, now you're at 30 seconds. I forget because I'm dumb. But you need to turn the power generator on, and you need to turn the fan on. Now, if you were a little late with the music box, maybe wait, but that's like, that's you adapting, but like this would be the right time to turn it on. Is it 31 seconds or so? So deal with all the crap. Here come the teeth. I let the teeth go a little bit because I was distracted, and I know like I need to cool the office. Now I think I ran the heater actually. I ran the heater out of habit, but you're gonna use the AC, so it doesn't matter. Teeth are gonna go back up. Fine, cool the office down. Now because I used the heater and because it was already hot, I went up over 100 degrees. So if you go over 100, you need to be sure to close both doors after you're below 100 because that keeps out Jacko Chica. It's like basically instantly, as far as I understand it, that she disappears. So, what else here? I would shine a flashlight at Phantom Freddy. He's phasing in, like keep him managed. I know Ambience talks about tanking the first Phantom Freddy. I don't do it because of muscle memory, but I'll talk more about that in like the big part. So, come out, deal with everything. If you do use the heater like I do at the very beginning of like the power gen cycle, just be sure right here, like at 30 seconds, that you don't go over 100. Try not to do it. It's just like then you use power to close the doors. It's pretty much instant, so it's not a lot, but like you can get down to the wire. Like I would save as much power as you can. Like perfect practice makes perfect. That's what my old keyboard teacher used to tell me in 6th grade. So I would say that's correct. I think I saw him a couple days ago at my friend's house. Like I thought I saw him driving, looked like exactly like him, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Ultimate Custom Night. So really, you need to just like be managing the office now. Like you did the hardest part. Now you're coming out and you're potentially having to do all this crazy stuff, and it's like kind of like a relief, if you will, when you get past the hard part. But you're not done yet. And actually, it's very important that you stay sharp here because Foxy's still in his early stages, and he is better to handle in his early stages, and it helps you in the later portions of the night if you handle him early. And by that I mean like keeping him off the desk, and if you had looked at him, that would also be pretty good. Now I'm gonna zoom backwards for just a sec here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I got lucky and Bonnie's on the desk, which is good. If Foxy's on the desk, you need to find a sec to do the insta-flip, and that's the zero frame flip. I call it the insta-flip, and I'm going to keep calling it that. But anyway, like, get Foxy off of your desk. Don't be like, oh my gosh, like, oh, what do I do? I'm panicking, like this, that, and the other thing, like, no, you need to be thinking about Foxy. So, let's see. If you do everything fast, you shouldn't need to do vents. If right now you're going to deal with Plush Trap, be sure that like you close the door on Freddy, like get him to go away, and be mindful of the timing. I think it's 1.2 seconds before you hear the thunk. And then what I do is I go top vent, side vent, and really, I mean, you can just wait until you close the cam, then go side vent, but like I don't screw around with that. So it's just kind of easier for me to do, but you can do whatever you want. So yeah, if you got to go back into the cams, deal with Freddy, and then top vent, side vent. That's me personal. You can, like I said, probably just do top vent if you're fast or whatever. But and don't forget, like, you need to reset the ventilation while you're in the cameras. I do it while I'm looking at Plush Trap. So anywho, so here we go, all good. Deal with Bonnet. Mouse over on the left, like it keeps you away from Nightmarion. You know, it's probably pretty obvious at this point, you guys know that. Deal with Ballora, be ready to press enter, careful, mask on, LOL, fan on, I was a little late. You'll see I'm pretty late on some of the stuff here. So, ideally, you're gonna want to do camera flips every 45 seconds. Now, the actual duration of like fade in to fade out, as long as the office is cool, and by that I think it's below 90 degrees. Anything above that accelerates the ventilation error or whatever, but ideally, yeah, every 45. So I clicked it early, you know, like I was dealing with Plushtrap in the 30s, so I wasn't anywhere near that. Now, if you want to be a gamer, you can actually go back into the cams, do a quick reset around 45 and kind of buy yourself some time, but realistically, it's okay. You'll see here, as long as you drag it out and you're mindful of time, then like you'll be okay. So I'm preparing. I'm doing it after the 15-second mark, so I know fan off, music box on, because that's kind of hard to remember sometimes, hard to mentally juggle. But I put my mouse right there, as you can see, the second stripe. The second yellow stripe on the left side of the vent from the bottom. That's how I remember. I mean, in different offices, it's going to be in the same place. Like, the mouse is going to be in the same place, but, like, there's different markers that you'll use. So whatever office you're using, like, learn where that is. But anyway, so I'm getting ready to do a flip. I did it right after I did, like, a cycle change, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to do it before 120, because then there's going to be a phone and an ad and, you know, other crap. So, there we go. Click, click. I double-clicked it, I think. So, if you have the coins, just pay the toll. Like, don't play with the heater, because, like, right now is a bad time to be screwing around with the heater. Just pay him. Like, you'll get more coins later. It doesn't even matter. It's fine. So, it's really difficult to see the doll on the desk now. So what I do is I move like over to the right and then over to the left, and I try to look for the legs. I find that to be the easiest thing to look for. So if you see metallic legs, it's Foxy. If you see, you know, like furry legs, it's Bonnie. If the color helps or the shape, the silhouette helps, whatever, like whatever is easier for you. So don't forget, like you just did event reset. Don't forget, you need to take care of the doll on the desk. And now you can't see him, so it's out of sight, out of mind. You got to be really careful with that. So don't forget about Phantom Freddy either. He's gonna continually fade in and out, and you need to remember that he's there. It's kind of easy to forget about him. I've gotten spooked by him a couple times, more than a couple of times actually. So the next cam flip would be 215 ideally, or around there. I'm still doing stuff early, you know, so I'm kind of goofed on that, but like the later the better. The further you can drag this out, the better. So like I'm getting kind of freaked out. I'm dealing with Freddy, did my reset, you know, whatever, it's fine. So see, had the coins again. I'm just gonna pay for it. It's not a big deal. Some people like to spam the flashlight. I don't. I just hold it. Seems like that is the best way to deal with him in this circumstance. Okay, I just saw something too. The wet floor sign. I forgot to mention this earlier. So I know this is a little out of order and I apologize, but if you get like a late XOR spawn and you're dealing with Plushtrap late, you can do one of a couple things. So you can close the right door if you want to. It wastes power, but it's kind of like mentally easier. And that holds Rockstar Chica out. Or, if you want to, after about, I don't know, if you get up to like 39 per se, maybe like 40 something, move the wet sign back over to the right. But basically, when you're done moving around in the cameras, so like you're done with Plushtrap basically, and you're on cam 2 or whatever, the bottom right one, wet floor sign on the left has to be back over there. So alright, so there's Afton. I almost died. Like, I think I was 0.1 second off. That was scary. Like, I almost goofed up. So Don't be me. And I even said spooky right there because it was. So be really careful about power, and like you want to use the generator as much as you can. You know, you don't want to like not use the gen. If anything, I would recommend using the music box more than you use the power generator, only because the puppet will kill you, but the power might kill you, but you still need to be very mindful of the power. Okay, so I missed right there. Let me talk about that. This was just nerves. I missed. I was lucky that Nightmare Balloon Boy wasn't standing, and I was lucky that I didn't get jump scared by a multitude of other people. So that was close. But if you miss, I would recommend like don't panic. Like don't stay in the cams forever. Obviously, don't be like, oh, where is it again? Like be fast, be concise, be precise. Don't make mistakes like that. I got lucky here, but if you happen to make a mistake, be sure you're covered, and then just check the timer real quick, and if you're still good, okay, go back in, you know. Unless it's like critical and you're literally about to pass out, you have 1 second left, then like you might have to go balls to the wall, but like luckily I wasn't dumb. Like if you watch what happens, I leave the vents closed, I think. Let's see. Or like close, right? Yep. Okay, I left them closed. If you open the top vent, you will die. And like, oh my gosh. So I dealt with Golden Freddy here. That guy's still asleep right in front of me. Helpy's like 7 seconds. So yeah, luckily all I did is like, I didn't open anything back up. My brain did something right for once. I died a lot to like my brain being cracked out basically, and not in a good way. So here's Bonnet. Switch back over. So see, like sometimes you need to deal with stuff before you press 1 in space. I mean, like if you have a Giga Brain, you might be able to like do stuff at more spaced out intervals. You might be able to handle things all together all at once, and like you have good like split brain usage, if you will, where like your hands are doing different stuff at the same time. Like if you play piano, you're probably pretty good at that, but if you're a stupid gamer like me, not going to be so good. So there's me getting rid of Foxy. Just kind of checking up on stuff, you know, like power's pretty low. That cam flip, the closer to 3 minutes, the better. Basically, if you look at your power and you're using about 20 an hour, you're doing okay. You can do better, but like there is room for error, is what I'm saying. So like, if it gets sketchy, don't worry a whole lot. It's probably gonna be okay. You die. I've died to power, I think, twice. Like, I ran out of power or I went really far. I think the furthest I got was like 420, and then I like literally 420.0 I died, because of course I did at that time. So power on. Don't keep doors closed too long. Don't, you know, forget about stuff. Don't have the fan on if you don't need it. That's actually a pretty big one. I'll mention that. So here, get on like a non-black screen here. If you look down and you notice like, you know, it's like 0 to 15 or 30 to 45, and like the office is cold already, turn the fan off. That will help you. You don't need to have it on at 60. It's easier to remember, and that's what I did in this run. I just had it. There's a couple times if you watch the bottom right, fan's on and it's 60 degrees, and like you might be thinking, what the heck are you doing? But like, it's distracting sometimes. So anyway, that was the last flip. So the last flip, after 340, you're good. You will not pass out to ventilation if you do a cam flip after 340. If you've been doing 45-second interval flips, this flip will be around 345. Ambience talks something about 342 or 343 or something. If I had to guess, that'd be 342. But that is a Bonnie spawn, as I call it. So Rockstar Bonnie and Withered Bonnie will have a chance to show up, and they basically will if you are on the cameras at a 13-second interval. So I think 342 is that. So don't look at the camera at 342. If you can do it after 345, awesome. If you need to do it before 3:45, do it quickly so you can remember to switch the music box back on. But basically, as long as it's after 3:40, not at 3:42, and you're not distracted, do a cam flip, reset ventilation, come back out, and you're good. Now, as you can see here, Foxy like launched into my office. That kind of sucks. Now, I think once his head's on the desk, the dull doesn't matter. As far as I understand, like, if his head's not on the desk, like let's just say it's his legs, I think if you can do an insta flip and get Bonnie back on the desk, it slows him down. I think. I'm not sure on that. I'll have to do some research. But if his head's on the desk, it's a dice roll when the camera's up. So don't give up, but just be quick. Like if this head is on your desk and you still have a cam flip to do, don't get scared. Just do your flip, do your thing. I'll talk about that in just a sec. We'll just play the video. So that's it. This will take you to 4:30. There's my big sigh of relief. My mouse is freaking out. I'm all jacked up. Look at me. So just be smart. Stay alert. The game's not over. You got far. Yes. Don't make dumb mistakes like me keeping the music box on for too long. Like, keep going. It's okay. Keep going. Like, you still have 15 seconds. Don't give up. Good. Yes. Press that button. Do that at the right time. Don't get scared of those red boxes or the red triangles signs. That's what for some reason my brain thought a box was a sign. Yes, it's getting darker. Yes, it's fine. Yes, don't be scared. Okay. So, because you don't need to worry about the music box anymore, meaning the night's about to end, if you absolutely need to save power, like you're super low right now and you're going to die if you don't do this, excuse me, turn off the music box, turn on the power generator. Don't worry about the fan because you're not going to need to cool the office at 4:30. So just have the power generator on if you absolutely are needing to save power. Because, I mean, even if you're at like 1% and you're like, oh, well, don't worry, 1% is okay with the fan on. Gamer, if you have to close the door to lock Ballora out, you're going to get smoked. So don't be stupid. I don't know this for a fact, but I would say anywhere around like 4:22 or 4:23 is probably okay to turn off the music box. Maybe earlier, maybe later. But don't turn it off too early because if the box unwinds, the ventilation actually speeds up. Like, you will pass out faster due to the puppet, which is kind of funny. Like, why does that happen? Does like the guy you're playing as get like scared and he's like, oh crap, like he just like gives up? Like, what happens? Sorry if that was a bad word to you guys, but anyway, so there's Ballora. If you heard her, I had to close the door on her one last time, and I flashed the flashlight out of habit. 4%. Buzzinga. I beat the night. That wasn't an actual word that I used. Don't worry about it. But, okay, so there's the night, and that's pretty... All things considered, if you know it, it's pretty easy. There's only a little bit of variation with that strat that you might need to know, but as long as you know like how to beat 50-20 and you put in some practice and you try to do the same strategy every time, because like if you're bouncing around a whole lot, you know, you're not really going to get good at one quickly, and you keep your brain on then it's totally doable. I mean, like, I'm a dum-dum. I made mistakes left and right in this, and I still beat it. So, like, this strat specifically is kind of designed for, like, if you go a little bit slower, you're not like a giga coin farmer, and, like, you don't really consistently get a death coin or whatever. Like, this method pretty much says, like, yes, I will have 10 coins even if I'm slow by 26 seconds, and then I know how to deal with plush trap, and then I know how to get through the rest of the night. Like, that's basically what this is like, I kind of want to get rid of some luck to an extent, and I want to go a little slow because I'm not a super gamer, and also no, just kidding. So like, I'll talk about it a little more as we're playing here, and like I'll just point some stuff out. But really, I'll offer the advice at the end. Let's just like rewatch this. So turn this back on. Nice. Don't forget to re-enable Funtime Foxy. I've done that before, where I go to use the death coin and I can't. So missed there. That's me talking. Nice collection. Just getting distracted by coins. Didn't change the cam because I'm not a dum-dum. Nice. Farming it up. Cool. See, like, it's not even worth trying to keep Foxy off the desk, because, like, sometimes he just, like, is not on the desk. So, I closed the camera while the ad was up, I'm pretty sure. Change that. My double click is, like, really funky. You have to be very precise with clicking the sign, actually. So, I knew he was out of there. Now, the reason, I'll say this real quick. You need to be done with that by, like, 32, because Toy Chica has a chance of showing up, and, like, she'll get you. And then sometime after that, the nightmares can get you too. So, like, go quickly. That's why I say 26. Like, don't dilly-dally. Go fast. Okay. So here's everything. Do this. I knew I went over 100. I saw it red and flashing, so I was closed after I go below 100. Mute call. Stand back on. Close door. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, 45. Okay, turn that crap off. You'll see me, like, sometimes turn the fan on during the music box time, and then I think there's a couple times where I turn the heater on. You can do that. Really, the big thing is, like, you don't need to have the music box on at certain times aside from, like, you know, 0 and 30 and stuff like that. You need to just be sure it's wound. And I'll say it right now, like, Toy Chica, or not Toy Chica, normal Chica, Kitchen Chica is, like, not actually that big of a threat. I like, in all the times I played this, I only died to her like twice. But still, you know, like, be precise if you can. So anyway, you know, keep an eye on things. Like, since this part of the night is a lot slower, if you will, like, you have a lot more free time. Be mindful of power. Like, be like, oh, okay, hold on, maybe I like should throttle the fan a little bit, or like maybe I should, you know, like, maybe I don't need to run the heater for this one, or like whatever. Like, if you know that you don't have a cam flip coming or something, then like, no need.
Please deposit 5 coins. Thank you for depositing 5 coins.
Alright. Pog, as the kids would say. I kind of miss the mask shaking from FNAF 2. Yeah, almost died to that guy. That was like... I really almost died there. It was indeed spooky. That was just silly. Little gamer tip, if you look at the animatronics, they actually go away faster. Like, if you have the mask on, they'll go away faster. Okay, so these guys are dealt with. Ads go away, do that guy, and then cam flip. See? Oh, miss. Okay, good. That felt bad. I like watching it, and I remember I was like, oh, fudge. And then, like, I luckily got it. And then I'm like, oh, there's Foxy. Hold on, gotta deal with Foxy. Man, I do not like doing the insta-flips. Like, I've failed them before. They've gotten me killed where, like, I get mad because I'm like, I should have had that. You do, like, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you, the way I do it, I press S and then mouse over. Like, you can have the mouse on the button 1 second or 1 millisecond after you press S. It loads the action, I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like that's how it works. Is like, I've done it extremely fast and it still worked. Okay, so I did that pretty close to 45, but it didn't really matter. I knew I was going to need to reset it, and I didn't want to goof up pressing buttons and then like have my hand somewhere weird on the keyboard. So big sigh, it's not over, but like I'm like kind of like nervous. I'm watching the timer, I'm gonna enter, okay, mute call, and then I go over, hand back on one in space, or yeah, one in space. Then I hear her. She's slow, luckily. Bonnet. Good reflex there. I kind of know the time. Cool the office back down. Now, it's fine. Like, I didn't cool the office down to 60, but it's fine. I'm at 64, or was at 64 when I shut it off. And I know it's getting dark. Don't get scared. It's okay. Power's fine. Reactive blower, I think 428 she can show up. The last time I clipped this video, it did the extra dong at the very end there of like the bell ringing. I must have accidentally clipped it a second early, but whatever. So, I will give you some general advice now, gamers. So, basically, know the strat, like learn it, know it, be aware of it. Like, don't have a general idea. Like, you really should know it. And part of that I found was like, yes, I watched the video, the ambience guide, like 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times. And like, I heard what he was saying, but I had to go in and like figure it out. And that's how I ended up like developing my nerd strat, like the easier version. Easier as in like less like actions per minute. It's like less intensive on you. Now, I will say this, I don't know that it's as reliable, but I do know that like it was working for me. Like I was always buying the death coin and always using the death coin like towards the end. It was very rare that I was not doing that once I started to understand my strat better. Sometimes you won't get 10 coins, but whatever. So or you know, JJ spawns late, or Toy Freddy will get you, or this, that, or the other thing, you know, but like stuff happens. It's kind of like FNAF 2. It's not like perfect, you know, like you can't just get a perfect run every time. It's like there will be luck-based stuff that happens and you might die. So anyway, know the strat, practice the execution. You know, like really the hardest part of the night is at the beginning, which is awesome because it gives you time to practice it. Imagine if the hardest part of the night was at like 425. So like you would be dying, and then like eventually you get good enough to get to 425, and then you're like, well, shoot, like how do I practice this? You know, so the hardest part is the easiest part to practice typically, and once you get past that, like if you played like, you know, 45-20, 48-20, I think I did 46-20 because it was like 9,600 points? I forget exactly. Maybe that was 47. No, that was 48. That's right. Because then, like, 49 is 98, and then 50 is 10,000. So, anyway, be practiced mentally and mechanically. And then another big thing is, like, you need to be able to adapt. So, don't just say it's over if, like, Foxy's head shows up, or like if if Dee Dee doesn't show up. They look different too. They have different models. They're not the same. They're just like one's based on another. If you know, maybe you don't get enough coins fast, like if you go into the camera at 10 seconds and you know you get 1 coin or 2 coins or something like that, don't give up. Like, just be like, okay, hold on, maybe I need to try like flipping a little faster. Don't forget what you need to do, and kind of have like a tier list of things worked out. And like that's not going to come from thinking about it when you're going to bed at night. It's going to come when you play the game and kind of learn like, oh, I keep dying to this, I need to focus on this. Like your brain will start to see it as more of an issue. And actually that's like how I felt about Afton since I started playing Ultimate Custom Night. Like, you know, when I was just fighting like 3 guys at once or something, I always had like this thing in mind, like he's scary, so I need to be ready to press F at any time. And it's not any time, it's every like 29 seconds, 27 seconds, something like that, I forget. But and then I almost died to him. But what I'm saying is play the game, practice it, be conscious about it, like know it, but be willing to change your strat. And then on top of that, when I say be conscious, don't go into autopilot mode. Like, you know, there is such thing as muscle memory. Like muscle memory is gonna help you to flip through cams fast, or like, you know, if Ballora shows up when you're going to buy the death coin, muscle memory is gonna help you there. But like muscle memory is not going to help you develop a new strategy. Like, I muscle memoried the thing when I forgot to press reset ventilation, and that could have gotten me killed. So that's the thing. Like, you have to be like, oh shoot, and like be ready. So keep that in mind. And then this is a big thing, and I know Ambience talks a little bit about this, but like, you need to tell yourself you can do it. And this is like more psychological in general, and I would advise like doing this outside of gaming. But like, you need to be like strong mentally. Tell yourself like, I got this, or like, if you're not getting it, be like, I just need to work on it, and then I got it. Or like, be positive. Basically, you need to have a positive mentality. If you go in here and you're beating yourself up and you're getting mad and you're getting stressed out, you're gonna probably play worse. I don't think that ever really has like helped anyone outside of like giving them motivation to continue. Like, frustration sometimes can be like, all right, you know what? No, I gotta get this. But like, it can also have the opposite effect where you're like, all right, F this. So be very mindful of that too. Like, you don't need to be like a nerd, be like, I am the best gamer ever, but like, you need to be like, yes, I can, and like do it. And then actually do it. So that's a big one. That can hold you back. So but practice and work on it. You know, take a break if you need it. Like, eat, go drink water. Like, don't have like a Red Bull. I wouldn't recommend that. You know, be ready. Have your mind in good shape, and part of that is having your body in good shape. You know, they work together. So like, if you're starving, you're probably gonna suck at this game. So anyway, I think I was hungry when I beat it, but like, I knew that like food was around the corner, so I was like, oh my gosh. So did it. But with all of that said, I think I'm good. I think that was like a pretty short walkthrough, at least compared to the other one. It was over an hour. This one's only like 45 minutes, but it's because I spoke about a few different things here, you know. Talked about what to do, and then like went over it again, and now I'm kind of giving some general advice. So not bad. I'll make a longer one where basically I'll say everything again, but I'm going to go way more in depth. But for right now, I would say that's it. I will think of some things to expand on in the next one, but I think that kind of covers everything. There's probably like some small stuff I forgot, but whatever. Like, if you know that I forgot something small, then fill that in mentally, so like, you know it. But anyway, that's that. Hope you enjoyed it. Hang in there, gamers. It's not as bad as you think, but don't beat yourself up if you're not getting it. Tell yourself you can. I'm not going to be the one to tell you you can. You need to tell yourself you can, because that's way more important. So I'm going to go make a little bit of food, and then I'm going to play Super Mario Sunshine. So that's going to be awesome. Hope you guys have an awesome day or a night, or like, I hope you're doing some good stuff in the world, you know, like you're helping out your little brother with his homework, or like, you know, you're loving your dog, you know, like you're hanging out with them and petting them, and you're like playing outside and stuff, and like, hopefully you're watering your plants, and like, you say hi to people on the street, and like, maybe like you help someone at like your job or like school, or, you know, like kind of like a stranger, you know, and like you pick trash up. And you do stuff like that, you'll probably end up feeling good. So like, hopefully like you're feeling good, and then hopefully you're doing good, because it's not all take. You got to give too, gamers. Which is why I gave you this awesome epic guide here. It is so good. No, just kidding. It's just another diarrhea splatter on the internet. Just kidding. Don't think like that. So you did it. You made it through my video. Now you can make it through Ultimate Custom Night. Probably. If you have questions or comments, feel free to get a hold of me. I'll try to give you some assistance on that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you guys later.